keep it very simple. Today is actually just about me and you guys. Remember, this is Thrive Wednesday, and this particular Thrive we are dedicating to how do we make sure you insert your name at the end of the year you can actually say, you know what, I thrived. And I want you guys to know that the difference between you and any goal and any success you might want to achieve is actually you. The biggest enemy to your goals is actually you. So that means you must have a plan, you must have a strategy, right? So again, let me know where you're joining us from. I like hearing from you guys. So as I wait for more guys to join on the live, I'm just gonna share a story. And this is about growth. You know, we live in an era where when you talk about success, we have come to confuse success for fame. We've come to confuse success for attention. We've come to confuse success for quick money. But I kind of feel like as we're talking about goals, everyone wants to be successful. But we must be honest that what success means to Tamima is not what it means to Mr. Right. It's not what it means to Gloria. You understand? What success means to the next person is not what it means to you. So what I want to invite anyone who is thinking about how do I thrive in 2025, first of all, define what success means to you and be realistic. Usiandike unataka kujenga nyumba kama ya calligraph and right now you're living in an SQ. And I'm not saying it's bad to live in an SQ, but I'm just saying let's be realistic here. That if your dream is by end of year, I want to be in a bigger house. Are you renting? Are you buying the home? Are you building the home? So write it down. So I'm going to do with you guys something that I do for myself every new year. And this has worked like magic because if I look at last year, I had a fantastic year. If I look at this year, I believe family, 2025 is going to be my best year yet. And as I've asked you guys, pale kwa comment section as you're joining, please let me know what is your biggest goal? What is your biggest wish for this year? I'm seeing Farid buy a house, get married, someone else as well, buy a house, putting God first and to finish my nursing degree. Amen to that. So I just want to take you guys through something that I do. So as you know, I'm the marketing director at Startimes. So basically my team and I are the ones who run the campaigns to market the brand. So if you have any questions, first of all, on Startimes, whether it's your subscription, whether it's your decoder, guys, jump on our social media. Kwanza Facebook, we're very on it. Ata hapa, you can just put a comment, my team will pick up on it and they'll also get back to you. Or you can call up our customer care. Lakini, the reason I'm here, remember this is Thrive Wednesday. So I want to teach you guys how to goal set for the year. I want to make sure that if you do this for the next 11 months, in December, you'll be sitting down and saying, I had a fantastic year because I did something different. And what I did different is I planned different. So the first thing I'm gonna say, yeah, and like I said, what does success mean to you? Is it possible to get to a different destination without knowing where you're starting from? It's like me sitting here. I'm in Upper Hill, by the way, guys. You can see the city all around me. Beautiful views. Yes. I'm in Upper Hill, in case you're wondering. So I'm on the 9th floor in my office. But in case you're sitting here and you're wondering, how do they do it? You know, I'm seeing my friends, they're driving. I'm seeing my friends, they're going on vacations. They have investments. They're comfortable. How do they do it? Number one, what does success mean to you? Is it to get your degree? Is it to switch jobs? Is it to start a business? Is it to save more money? So what does success mean to you? That's the first thing you must first do, because we all have different goals that we are working towards. And then the minute you're actually very clear, so niko Upper Hill na nataka kwenda Westlands. You see, it's easy to get to Westlands because already I'll know whether am I walking, am I running, am I taking a cab, am I driving, am I taking a Luzi. Life is pretty much the same way. So don't see people out here and they look like they're successful. Some of them might be fronting, as we've seen with certain celebrities. But if you want to really live an authentic life, you must first define what does success mean to you and then have a plan, right? And in order to have a plan, you must be very clear about what direction do I want to take. I mean, Upper Hill, nikitaka kwenda Westlands, there are a million routes I can use. So the question is, how fast do I want to get to Westlands? What am I going to do in Westlands? Do I want to take a drive? Yeah. Do I have an urgent meeting and I have to get there as fast as possible? So I kind of feel like when we're talking about goals, you must be realistic about your goals, guys. So that means you must have smart goals. Then you must be realistic about your goals. That your goals must fit where you currently are in life, and they must be realistic in that if you put in the effort with what you have, you can actually get there. So I want you guys to ask yourselves, what's working in your life right now? Because I kind of feel like sometimes when you talk about New Year's resolutions, oh, this year, we don't quite appreciate you're already doing something. You're somewhere. So first of all, give yourself a round of applause. Yay! I'm doing something, I'm somewhere. So first ask yourself, what's working in your life right now? As we speak today, Albert umesema leo ni 22nd.
Yes.
22nd of January 2025. What is working in your life? Because you're an expert. You've come this far. Write that down. The objective is you're going to replicate that. That means you're doing what you did that worked and potentially doing it even better. Then as we're talking about what's working, we must also admit what's not working. What are some of those things that you could have done better last year? Yeah, as Albert is breaking his phone. Like Albert could have taken better care of his phone so he doesn't have to buy a new one. Maybe it's your weight, because your health is your wealth. Acha nikwambie, hakuna kitu kama kuwa na pesa and your health is poor, because you will use that money to fix that health. So if you're one of those people, you're saying last year what didn't work for me was my health, I need to get fit, I need to eat right, take note of that. Then what are you willing to do to work for what you want to get in order to have something new in your life? And I kind of feel like up and this is where now the conundrum comes in, because most people will sit and say, oh, I want a house. I'll speak for myself personally. That's one of my goals this year. Someone else might say, I want a car, I want to finish my degree. Yes, but are you willing to do what it takes to attain those things that you want to attain this new year? And this is where now the sacrifices do come in. How are you spending your time? How are you investing in yourself, upskilling yourself? I know most of us have phones. Every so often you get a notification from the phone company that you need to update your system, you need to update your software. So I want to challenge you, whether it's in your professional life, your personal life, your health, your relationships, what are you doing to improve yourself? How are you investing in making sure that I'm learning and I'm learning more so that I can be able to attain a higher goal for myself? And when I ask, what are you willing to do? I'll tell you guys a funny story. Last year I graduated. Yes, I graduated last year. I'm very proud of myself for that. But the thing was, what was I willing to do to graduate? So it meant I had to juggle work. I had to juggle being a mother. I had to juggle life. So that meant that there are times when people were out having fun and I was studying, you know. There are times when I would literally have to sacrifice that, you know, you've come from a long, hard day at work, but you have a class and you have to show up for that class, or you have an assignment, or you have a cut. So it took a lot of sacrifice, but at the end of it all, I got what I had set out to get. I got my degree, first class honors, yay! So still, in every area of life, it's a relationship. Kuna mtu amesema they want to get married this year. So if you want to get married this year, let's be honest, it's very easy to sit and say, I want. You want to find that woman, you want to find that man who is your husband. You have a list. I want tall, dark, I want curvy, you know, shaped kama Coca-Cola bottle, pretty face, smart, kind, beautiful, successful, all those things that people put when they're looking for a partner. But if you were to remove, if I told you write everything you want in a man and a woman, so you write maybe my dream man, you write all the qualities. If you were to remove the dream man and put your name there, are you those qualities? And I kind of feel like this is where it gets real. If relationships is one of the areas that you're saying this year, I'm looking for someone. So be that person that you're looking for. And that means you must invest in yourself. You must invest in making sure that you're a quality person. If you want to attract quality people, you must be a quality person. And then also, I'm sure you've had this before. Guys, Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, hakuji kukutoa kwa sitting room. So let's cut back on the hours we are spending Netflixing and chilling. Can we go back to socializing? Go to church on Sunday, meet people. During the week, go with your colleagues, go with your friends, go to a restaurant, have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee. Try something new. If you want to meet people socially, you have to leave your house. Your life cannot be, I wake up in the morning, jump in the car or matatu, get to work, I work with my colleagues who are probably all married, I leave work, still in the matatu, end up back in my house. Girl, you're not finding a man or a woman, boy, you're not finding a good woman like that. So you must be intentional. You must first fix yourself, and then also you must be intentional about the places. If you love movies, go to the cinemas, go for events. So we're talking about goals for this year. So I touched a bit on the relationships. I touched a bit on what worked for you last year. Build on that in terms of making sure you're having a better year. Then as we're talking about career, money, school, relationships, love, friendship, your purpose, your spirituality, basically the meaning behind life. So once you're clear about the goals and the areas where you want to set goals for yourselves, and by the way, this is just very light stuff. I'll tell you something. I was at a conference 2 weeks back, and they said something very powerful. They were like, every organization should invest in the personal development of their teams. Reason being, if you're not developing yourself, it means you're not valuable to yourself, number one, and also you're not valuable to the organization at large. So personal development, I know most of us go to offices, and in offices you'll sit in teams where you're told, we have to do strategy. Maybe you have an objective, kampuni nataka to make more money, you sit in those meetings, you're strategizing, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. That is someone's dream you're working towards. Are you doing that for your life? So what I'm basically saying, sit down today, if you've not done it already. Sit down today, pen and paper. Write down those areas of your life: money, career, relationships, health, spirituality, purpose, extracurricular. Write down. Have a plan. The same way you plan for your employer, plan for your life. So that now, January is almost over. You want to say that, they're the jokes that we always crack as Kenyans. In January has been so long. It's just been another month with 31 days. But if you want to make sure that at the end of the year, you're not saying that about 2025, please take my free advice, sit down, do that level of goal setting for your personal life, because nobody's coming to do it for you, by the way. Yeah? You'll be working on people's dreams, wondering, why isn't my life changing? And then, so when you talk about doing more of what is working and what is not working, you reduce on that. And then also something very important, find a mentor, guys. And your mentor doesn't have to necessarily be someone that you know. I have been mentored by people that I've never met. It simply meant that I had a goal. I was like, hey, I want to do XYZ. Or as an example, maybe this year, and I'm very intentional about this year, I want to go back to television this year. I want to go back to doing talk shows. I want to sit, interview people, share stories, learn from each other. So I'm very intentional about that. So one of the things that I'm doing easily is I'm literally looking for people who are doing what I want to do, and they're doing it excellently. So that means I'm spending a lot of time watching this podcast, learning about what has changed since I last did it. Being very clear about what my goal, what my purpose is. So if you're there, naona Aizo amesema you need a girlfriend. Aizo, I need you to update that vocabulary. Kidogo. You don't need a girlfriend, you want a girlfriend. There's a difference. And I'm just going to give you guys some quick tips around how to create your plan. Like if you're asking yourself, like genuinely, just grab my machine here. I'm checking this on my laptop. I prepared something. If you are talking about how to create a plan, what do you want to create in your life? There's something very profound I came across this week, and it really made an impact on me, and I want to share it with you guys. If you look at who we are as human beings, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, if you know your Bible, whichever religion, they're all consistent that we were all created in the image of God. And what do we know about God? God is a creator. So if you're created in the image of God, it means there's some level of you that is a creator. And I want you to sit and I want you to audit your life. Where are you creating? Or are you just constantly consuming? Even if you go to work, you know, you might have a job, but are you really doing what you feel called to do? Are you in your purpose? And if you're not in your purpose, if I'm speaking to you, you know, young man or young woman out there, that's okay. The important thing is that you recognize you're not in your purpose. So what you need to do is you need to strategize around, how do I move towards my purpose? I'm not saying quit your job today and then become jobless, cashless, financially bankrupt because Tamima said I'm not in my purpose. No, you must have a plan. And I hope you guys are catching the pattern here. I keep saying you must have a plan, you must have a plan. There's nothing that anyone great has ever achieved without first, number one, having the dream. Right now, the whole world is talking about Elon Musk. What Elon wants to do in the next couple of years is conquer outer space. He wants to conquer the universe. He wants to go to other planets and prove that humans can live on Venus, they can live on Mars, they can live on whichever planet he sees fit. But for him to achieve that, number one, he had to have the dream. After having the dream, he had to now have a plan between where he is and where his dream is. And I'm talking about a man like you and I, a man who bleeds, who, for lack of a better word, who shits, who eats, who does everything every man does, and his dream is to go to a different planet. So some of you might be sitting there and thinking, oh, my dream is very simple. I want a car. And a car you can have, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, a car you can have. And I want you to just think for a moment. I'm in Upper Hill. I told you guys that earlier. If I show you out my window, are you seeing? Those are skyscrapers, you know, tall buildings, tall buildings. Imagine people own those buildings. People like you and I, men and women, own those buildings. I know we see buildings, we're so used to seeing buildings, but have you ever thought somebody owns this? A living, breathing human being actually owns these buildings that we sit in and work in. Why not you? Why not you? I know that's a very good question. I also want to own a building. But what I just want to plant is the seed that anything you put your mind to, you can achieve. If today you decide, I want to be the most successful person in real estate, it's possible. But you must study, you must have a plan. Lazima ujitume. And I kind of feel like something else that I want to talk about is discipline. We live in a generation where it's very easy to get sucked in. You always want to be having fun. If that's you, I'm talking to you. This is the year you say, if you want to have fun, let that fun be the reward of work that you did. Don't just have fun for the sake of having fun. Think about your legacy. I know people who are some of the most successful people that I know. You know, they have huge portfolios, huge net worths, and most of them are older than I am. And when you talk to them, they always tell you that when I was younger, when I was your age, when I had the energy that you have, I used to work so hard. And it is the labor of their youth that afforded them the luxuries that they have in their old age. So I want to ask you, young man, young woman, apart from being on TikTok, which is great, I love having you guys, but apart from being on TikTok, scrolling, do you recognize the potential that you have? Do you recognize that we now live in a world where you don't necessarily even need a job? You just, your computer. If you take your computer and you say, I want to start a job, there are so many AIs that you can use. Do you understand there are things called remote work? If you're there and you're saying, I'm jobless, I'm looking for a job, don't look for a job, go find a job. A job is not looking for you. You must go find a job. So next week, I'm going to be on here, and I'm going to be on here with someone who is an expert in HR. I'm going to do this a bit different. And I want them to put into perspective how, as a young person, if you are working a job or if you're not working a job, and if you're trying to see how can I make more money online, I think that's a conversation that is worth having. Because most of us know how to use the internet. We just need to be told, oh, these are the websites. This is how people are making money. Like, if you work 9 to 5, guess what? After 5, that's another work day that starts. That's how hustlers think. And then if you are like most Kenyans on a paycheck, you know the pinch. When you look at your paycheck, how much is being cut in form of taxes. So if you're trying to earn extra money next week, please, it's a date. And if you have any questions around maybe what you'd want us to cover, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. So kwa hayo machache, what I've basically summarized this Thrive session with you guys as is saying, number one, have smart goals, specific goals, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So specific means look at every area of your life, zone in, whether it's your health, your finances, your career, your love life, your relationships with your children, your spirituality, zone in, be very clear in the next 11 months, because January is almost over. What do I want to achieve? Measurable, what worked for you last year? Keep doing more of that. What didn't work? See how you can improve. Try and say, I was very intentional, I want to wake up early. Measure. Are you someone who's always sleeping, Netflix and chilling? You're always on social media. I need to be on social media less. Do it. Attainable. Like I said, you cannot be today you are on Route 11 and you're saying, I want to own a Range Rover. Unless you're doing shoddy work, dirty business, it's not realistic. So you could actually say, hey, you know what? This is the year I'm saying, I want to start saving up for my car. I don't even need to buy the car by end of year, but I want to save a certain portion of my income towards that car. And your dream of owning a car can come closer. Realistic. We've just talked about that. And time bound. Put a timeline. You can't always say, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a house. You'll be 80 and still wanting to buy a house. Yet there are people around you who've already bought houses. So I'm just sharing some tips and tricks that I know have worked personally for me. And then also I would encourage you guys, please, if you can, get a coach, get a mentor. I usually do events, they're called Pampa events. You can check them out on my social media handles in case you're interested. And what we do is coaching. We coach on different areas. We coach on women and men under construction, that's your personal development, that's your mindset. We coach on Love Sanctuary, that is relationships, how to thrive in love, how to raise your children, how to navigate family dynamics. We coach Master Your Money. You can be making money but you're still broke. Are you well versed in terms of how to budget? Are you well versed in terms of where to invest? Are you well versed around how you can save money? Are you that person who's always buying things, you don't negotiate, you don't know where to get things for cheaper, at a better rate, so you're saving more as opposed to spending more? Are you that person who's constantly consuming, you're not even creating? You can start a side hustle today, it's very easy. If next week I'll also teach on this. If you're wondering, how do I get a business name? How do I register my business? How do I design a logo for my business? I'll teach you guys all that next week with AI. I'll give you specific AI tools that you can actually go sit. They will do everything for you. Business name, registration itabidi utaenda kwa kanjo kufanya peke yako, lakini unaweza fanya online. They'll give you a logo. You can also see how to start your own personal website. Yani 2025 is that year tumeamua. We must all be successful. Not I must be successful. We must be successful together. So I will be here every Wednesday with experts in different fields to challenge you, and also your favorite personalities to inspire you, so that you can see, Allah, kumbe people are doing this. People who perhaps come from less, who've had less, and they've achieved more. So we'll be sharing, and that's basically it for me, Tamima, today here on Thrive Wednesdays. This was our first Thrive of the year, so this was very short. It was just basically me saying hi, kusema tujasahau. I know we had built a community here last year, kina Mr. Right, and so many other people who are always on this every Wednesday. So, and also I want to ask for guests. Do you have any guests that you think you would love to hang out with here on TikTok? Courtesy of Startimes and Thrive Live. Eka pale kwa comment section. And then I have some fantastic news. Fantastic news, guys. Guess what? So as you know, on Startimes, we broadcast La Liga matches. So we are one of the official pay TV partners for La Liga in Africa. That means we are broadcasting every single La Liga match. And as you know, I'm the marketing director for Startimes in Kenya. So courtesy of that, our friends over at La Liga have invited me to Spain for the La Liga experience. Yes. So in February, from the 4th of February to the 10th of February, I'm going to be in Spain for a whole week. I'm going to be going to Seville, but the Spanish call it Sevilla. So I'm going to be going to Sevilla for a whole week. And I'm going to be sitting front row for a La Liga match between Sevilla and FC Barcelona. Isn't that amazing, guys? I am super excited. So we're going to be having a campaign running across our social media channels, and this campaign is going to be called the La Liga Experience. So it means for the next 2 weeks, I have a lot of goodies from La Liga that I want to share with you. What you have to do, number one, renew your subscription. Once you've renewed your subscription, be sure to follow our pages to know which matches are coming up. And then obviously, we're going to be asking you to make predictions. Who do you think is going to win the match? And if you guess right, you stand the chance to win some original La Liga merchandise. We have jerseys, we have footballs, we have sunglasses. And then when I'm in Spain, I'm going to be keeping you guys up to date every day. I'm going to show you the stadiums. I'm going to be meeting some of the players in person up front. I'm going to be meeting the club president as well. So you get a chance to actually live this experience, the La Liga live experience with me. So if you have any questions that maybe you're like, hey Tamima, if you're going to meet players from Sevilla, if you're going to meet players from Barcelona, ask them XYZ. Go to any of our pages. My team will be putting up the posts. You can comment on there with your name. If your question gets chosen, again, you stand the chance to win some fantastic merchandise. So you see, 2025 is going to be a fantastic year. And I'm willing to take a few lives. So if you want to join me, unaweza request sai, I can take you guys to join. Let us see. Anyone wants to join from anywhere? And I hope you're not in Nairobi. I love when people join me from out of Nairobi. It's usually very encouraging and very fantastic. So I'm seeing some messages here. Someone saying yes. Some, wow, lucky you. I know, Mr. Right, I feel so lucky. It's a once in a lifetime experience. So it's an all expenses paid trip, courtesy of our partners at La Liga. So I'm going to be having that full La Liga experience. And remember, you stand the chance to win match. And as I should be saying, you stand the chance to one person can join me. That's what I should be saying, eh? And we start a competition. So what you guys have to do is just basically renew your subscription. And you never know, 2025 might just be that year where we run a campaign where we are saying we are giving one lucky viewer the opportunity to actually go and have the La Liga experience. But as for me, Tamima, ninajua nitakuwa pale ninajienjoy. Yes. So see if there are any questions. Okay, there are no questions. So I plan to be on here for 30 minutes. Thank you so much for the 3,000 of you who've liked this live, the 500 of you who've watched this live. We really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to having a very blessed, amazing, positive 2025, which I'm calling my best year yet.
Startimes. Enjoy digital life.